I'll be presenting the Israeli settlement in the Middle East. So there are currently 121 Israeli colonies, often refers to as settlements, and approximately 102 Israeli outposts built illegally on Palestine land, occupied military by Israel since 1967. So the occupied lands are now called the West Bank, the East Jerusalem, and the Golan Heights. All of these settlements and outposts are illegal under international law and have been condemned by numerous United Nations Security Council resolutions. Israel outposts are considered illegally under Israeli law. So with all those laws saying it's illegal, we're not seeing any changes. Why are we not seeing any changes? We're supposed to have consequences for those officials, like officials in Israel. How come we're not seeing any changes? These settlements and outposts are inhabited by a population of some 462 Israeli settlers. 191,000 Israelis are living in settlements around Jerusalem, and a further 271,400 are further spread throughout the West Bank. So this is all Palestinian territories they're living in. The settlers' population has grown consistently between 4 to 6% per year over the last 2 decades, a much higher rate of growth than Israel's society as a whole. So the population itself grew. In 2008, the settlement freezes agreed upon in the Annapolis framework. It's a treaty that Israel and Palestine made. And tenants for new settlement building increased by 550% from 2007. Actual settlement construction has increased by 30% since the launching of the new peace talks. So basically, during the peace talk, they're like even increasing the more the houses they made in those lands. The settlement building around Jerusalem has increased by a factor of 38. Settlements are built on less than 3% of the area of the West Bank. However, due to the extensive network of settlers, roads, and restrictions on Palestinian access in their own land, Israeli settlement dominates more than 40% of the West Bank. So families could not come to like holidays, come over to holidays, because there's Israelis everywhere. They're surrounding them, and every time it's not like, oh, normal roads that we see here. It's very different. Israeli children are stoning the houses, the Palestinian houses. How are we, like, the next generation are being taught like that? How are we gonna have changes if the new generation is doing this and they're doing these actions? They have hatred to Palestinians, and they say that like the Arab are very bad, they're disgusting. They say all kind of words to describe them. So the UN Security Council resolution 465 made it clear that Israel's policy and practices of settling parts of its population and new immigrants in the occupied territories constitute a serious obstruction to achieving a comprehensive peace talk. So basically, this settlement is the reason why there's no changes. If they don't change it, Israel doesn't change, if they don't freeze their settlements, we're not going to see anything. The Israeli and Arab conflict will never end if these houses are being made in Palestine. How are we? Palestinian state won't even exist, and they have the nerve to say that it's the Palestinians that doesn't want the peace talk. It's dumb. It's dumb. It's dumb that it's like they don't want Palestine. They don't want a two-state solution. They want a one-state solution. That is Israel to be the dominant one. The dominant one. Yeah. The 2004 ruling of the International Court of Justice in The Hague, that is like international law, international court, and based in Amsterdam, I believe. They have a big international court over there. So basically, they have conflicts that come, like right now. Recently, there's a Serbian commander, I believe, that is right now like being questioned, or he's being on trial by the Bosnian conflict in 1993, I think. So yeah, he's paying the consequences. And it declared that the Israeli settlements in the occupied Palestinian territory, including East Jerusalem, are illegal and an obstacle to peace and to economic and social development. So basically, Palestine doesn't have a voice. They don't have any voice in this. We're not seeing any changes. Palestine doesn't have a voice. They don't have any humanitarian aid when 2008 when Israel bombarded Gaza, the west coast of Palestine. When they didn't have a voice, they didn't see any humanitarian aid. And forget about the Western world helping them. Their so-called brothers, Arab brothers, are not helping them. The Saudi Arabians are busy selling oil to the United States, while we see that the United Arab Emirates, Dubai, is building they're too busy building new water parks, biggest water parks, while their brothers are suffering in Palestine, could not even eat, and they're doing all those stuff. And Qatar will send humanitarian aid across the world to Haiti, but can't even send more humanitarian aid to their own backyard, right there, to their own brothers. And despite Israel's commitment during the Annapolis summit to cease all settlement activity, construction has continued and almost doubled in all of the settlements and outposts on both sides of the separation barrier. So Israel built a wall to separate in Jerusalem, East Jerusalem, and the Israeli side. So since Annapolis Prime Minister Ehud Olmert and other senior Israel officials have repeatedly made it clear that Israel would not implement a general settlement freeze. Among other things, Olmert has said that Israel would continue building settlements in and around East Jerusalem, as well as the so-called settlement blocks, thus effectively negating the very purpose of the freeze. They don't want to stop. They don't even have plans to stop these settlements. So why are we not seeing no consequences? The United States is not taking any action to their ally. But we will take action to Libya, Iran, North Korea, but not this simple particular issue. Basically, their objective, Israeli and the Israeli officials' objective, is to the disappearance. They want the disappearance of. They're for one state solution. They want Israel. They want Palestine to disappear off the map. They want to basically, they don't want Palestine to be there. Period. And I believe, I really believe that the Zionist regime, Jews and Zionism are not the same. They're not the same. So if I say Zionist regime, I don't mean Jews. So I believe that the Zionist regime is now the new Nazi in our recent movie. Because I believe that the Nazis with the Jews, they're doing exactly what the Nazis did to the Jews. It didn't come 1 year to their construction to the camp, to burning all Jews. No. At 1 year after year after year, they took all their fortune. They took all they were very successful in Germany. Jews are very successful at that time in Germany. They took all their fortune, took all their banks, their homes, and we're seeing this in Palestine. We're seeing this right now, and nobody seems to care. So I believe that if we don't stop right now, they will do something. And now it's we have to take action right now. Thank you for your attention.